Hey guys, what's up? It's another video. Pretty much it's just me playing some more games with another different deck. This time it's Perona. I did do a deck profile on this a while ago, but that was the very last one where I'm doing just deck profiles by itself. So yeah, I'm playing with Perona this time. It's the green-black Perona. Little different from my deck profile. I know I've been reworking it. So of course I have Drake, right? Drake and Ryuma, basic KO stuff for Perona. I'm running 2 of the treble in here just in case I can't get stuff down to 4. I only run 2 of them though. He's kind of like a tech to get rid of the 5 or less that I have to get rid of. If I can't bring him down to 4, I can get rid of the 5 or less. So that's why I'm only running 2 of him. I'm running Lucci's in here, more KO stuff. If I can't get stuff rested, then I could just KO him with Lucci. I'm only running 3 of him. Mostly because I'm mostly resting stuff and KOing them with these guys. So like I only really need 3 of him. And not to mention he isn't counter, so that's why I kind of don't really want... I don't want a lot of counter, or I don't want to not have a lot of counter. Blocker Rosinante, of course. Sudo, of course, -2. Borsalino, staple blocker for black. Gecko Moria still in here. Hina, Rebecca. I switched out Baby 5 for Branu to help with Rob Lucci because that helps get stuff in the trash for Rob Lucci's ability to activate. Of course, Virgo's still in here, not to mention he's also searchable off of Branu. So, not bad. And then Perona, of course, 2k. Helps you with minusing and also discarding your opponent's hand. And then instead of running the 10-drop Dofi, I'm actually running 2 of the 10-drop Kuzans. So I'm fully switching over to, like, not fully, but I'm more switching over to the Navy side of stuff. Because Kuzan helps you get rid of stuff that's at 0. And not to mention he just minuses 5 cost already once he's on board. So like say you already have him on board, that's enough to rest like a 9-drop, right? Because that'll bring him down to 4 for Perona's ability. Then you just KO stuff with Ryuma, Drake, and Treble. If you really want to get rid of more stuff, because he's minusing 5, you can also get rid of like 5-drop stuff because of Rob Lucci when Kuzan's already on board. So it's just like I have a big body on board that also helps with the leader ability and all the other cards I have in here. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck. Let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so this is the very first match. I'm going up against the red purple Law, which is always cool to see because I really like this leader. Even though it kind of hurts me because everything I play to KO his stuff just comes right back out because he can minus all my stuff down to 3k power and then return it and then get something back out. But I found a way to just starve him out somehow. I don't know how I did that. But right here, I put all 3 of my Dawn onto my leader and just swing for 8 because I don't really have anything to play right now. And I drew into a 10-drop Kuzan, which is cool to have, right, just for later. And he swings at me for base. Of course, I'm just going to take it. I draw into a Rebecca from life, so that's going to help me with if I ever get a Hina out. He plays Blocker Law, right, which helps me in a certain type of way because he's putting stuff into my trash when I do get Lucci. But right here, I just rest the Law. And then I choose to swing 10k at leader because there's really no point in me KOing the Law. Just so I could KO him. He's just going to minus my treble or my Ryuma either way. So I just choose to swing 10 to 5. So he takes the life. I'm in the life lead because of that. He does have a blocker up though, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. Because at some point I do start playing cards to get some characters on board, right? And I'm pretty sure I play Ryuma. Right here he's playing Raise Max, which is the new card for Revolutionary Army. It's pretty much Gordon for Revolutionary Army. You think it's you either trash or you put to the bottom of your deck and minus 3k, which is fine, right? I don't really care for that because I can just rest it. But right here I was deciding if I wanted to rest the Reiju or the Raise Max, which was really hard for me to decide because like I didn't want him to swing more, but I also didn't want him to minus my stuff for free pretty much, because all he would have to do technically is whatchamacallit, swing for 5 with... He could actually have swing for 5 with Raise Max, make me lose a card or take health, and then trash Raise Max, and then minus my minus whatever I put on board, and then use those 3 Dawn he used that he put onto Raise Max. So right here I just choose to go all in against Raise Max, even though he was a 2k. I didn't really have anything to play, so I just made it to where he had to trash it, even though it was a 2k card. Right here he's playing the ulti and page 1 combo, which is really good for Law, right, because they're both 4-drops. Right here he swings for 6. I have 2 Virgos in hand. I counter for 7. And then he swings for 6 again. I'll counter with the other Virgo. And then that's actually perfect. He swing with Reiju because now I can rest something else of his, which is going to be his page 1 because it's a 6k. And right here, I just play both of my Ryumas just to KO 2 cards and swing for 6, which was a really good play, even though he has a lot of cards in hand, so he probably has enough to minus stuff down. which he certainly does. It's law. It's red purple law. Of course, he's gonna have some in his hand to do that. Right now, my hand's looking pretty grim. A 10, an 8, and a 6 drop, all with no counter. So I'm just gonna have to take hits. Right here, he plays Gordon. Right, of course, he's gonna play Gordon in red purple law. With Ray's Max now, he pretty much has 2 sets of Gordon, which is very interesting. But right here, he swings for 6. I just have to, or no, he swings for 7, I think. And then I just have to take it because I have no power. I have no counter power in my hand. So he swings for 7 right here. Gotta take it. Draw into a Perona. That's really good. That's a 2k counter in hand. But I'm pretty sure he just swings for 6 with his leader, so I just immediately lose that Perona. So, I mean, hey, it stopped an attack, right? I do remember this, though. He does kind of mess up with the leader ability. He forgets to return my card first and then play his card. So he just plays, I think it's a Beppo. But no, he swings for 7. I don't have to get rid of the Perona. I draw into a Branu. Not bad. I'm checking my graveyard because I was deciding if I wanted to play Gecko Moria next turn or the Kuzan. But right here, he plays Beppo, forgets to return my Ryuma, so that certified me another swing. He plays out the Film Blocker. I always forget what movie he's from. I think he's from that one movie that didn't come out over here. This is a pretty good blocker for Law because the blocker just becomes the same power as the attacking card, so he only has to use 1 card to out-counter it. So I just chose to rest that, right, just so I could try to certify and get rid of all the other stuff. Right here, I swing 5 at ulti, just to get him to waste cards in hand, because I know he wants to keep as many cards on board, because that's pretty much how you beat Red Purple Law, is you just starve him out. So he's going to try and keep cards on board so that he can have some type of field state. But right here, I swing 6 to 5. And then I think what I do is actually swing at the blocker because I didn't want him to use it next turn, even though I could just keep resting it, right? But it's fine if I don't get any cards from his life because I don't actually want him to have cards in hand. So that works out perfectly, and I have 2 rested cards either way so that he attacks them. And the Ryuma, and everything he has is 4 drops. So when Ryuma dies, I just get to KO whatever he swung with. So right here, I think I do play the Gecko Moria. The Gecko Moria comes into play, and I think I grab Rebecca off of play, and I don't grab the Sudu, right? There's no point, so I just cancel that, use Rebecca's ability to grab a Virgo. And I was thinking if I wanted to play Branu, but then I remembered it has to be a 3-cost card. I don't know why it's not just 3 or less for Rebecca, but whatever, it's fine. So I just grab Virgo off of Rebecca just so I could have some 2k counter in hand. He plays Roronoa Zoro. And bottom decks my Rebecca, which is fine. That's totally fine. She was mostly there just to get me more counter in hand either way and a big body on board with Gecko Moria. So right here, he swings 6 to 4 with Beppo. Of course, I'm just going to let it go, KO Beppo with it. And then I think he swings with Zoro first right here. Yeah, Zoro. He swings 7 to 5. Of course, I out counter with Virgo and Branu to bring it up to 8. And then he swings with leader for 6, and I just out counter with Perona for 7. Right here, I drew into another Borsalino. Really interesting a hand, if I do say so myself. I choose to rest the 4-drop Law right here because if he wants to block it, then he'll just have to use the Purple Law, which is fine. That's why I didn't rest Purple Law, Blocker Law. So right there, I play into Trouble to KO the Law. I swing 5 at Zoro. See if he can get rid of some cards in hand. And then I choose to swing 6 at leader. He takes it. He triggers it for Radical Beam. Doesn't matter. I have a 9k to 6. But he does have another Radical Beam, which brings him just up enough. So that's cool. That's 2 Radical Beams out of the way. Unfortunately, it was just enough for him because of that trigger Radical Beam that brought him up to 6. And since he's at 2 or less life, he had 1 Dawn open. He used his Radical Beam in hand to boost him up to 10. So right here, he swings for 9. I think I just take it, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, okay, I switch it over to Borsalino. Right here, I attack after I arrest the Blocker Law. So he has 1 blocker left. So right here, I attack Blocker Law, right? I was thinking if I wanted to play Gecko Moria, but then I realized he has no cards in hand actually. So right here, I just swing all out, 6 and then 9, and then I win this one because he doesn't have enough in hand to out counter. And Raise Max isn't a counter card, so that's good. So yeah, that'll be it for the Red Purple Law gameplay. Let's get right into the next one. Alright guys, so this is the second match. I'm playing against a Blue Crocodile, and it's always cool to see Blue Crocodile, right? Because it's just a starter deck leader, but it's really cool to see it play with other cards from other sets because like it's actually a pretty good leader, even though I feel like Blue Purple Croc and Mono Blue Croc's abilities should be switched, but that's just me. So yeah, right here I play into Branu. I can only grab Hina because the 10-drop Kuzan counts as former Navy, so I can't grab him. So I just grab Hina, it's fine. I have 2 Hinas in hand. Either way, all 3 cards were uncounterable, so like I would have gotten an uncounterable card either way. Right here he swings for 5, and I think I outcounter it with the Borsalino in hand. Or no, I just take it, okay. And then I think, what does he summon? He summons out, I don't remember exactly what he summons, but I do remember this guy taking a long time on one of his turns. I think this is the turn because, funny enough, I think he does message me in the chat right here. He's like, oh, sorry, I had an Amazon package, which is interesting. If he's playing One Piece and he got an Amazon package, Lord knows he either got stuff for his cards or he was ordering something from Amazon that's related to One Piece in some type of way. Who knows? Either that or he's just a normal dude and he's ordering stuff off of Amazon for no reason. But yeah, this takes a long time, which is fine. It gives me a lot of time to talk about the deck. So like, Green-Black Perona is pretty interesting, especially the way I built it, where it's mostly Navy now. I do think they should build... I'm sorry about that, that's my phone. I do think they should build a Kuzan, again, that is Navy. I mean, we do have that. It's the 4-drop Kuzan, and I got rid of that one out of my old Perona deck. Even though you do get to draw off of it, you have to attack just to minus Don, or just to minus cost. So yeah, I just chose to switch it in for a bigger body. Since I was taking out Doflamingo, I just chose to switch out the Doflamingo for the big body Kuzan. But he summons out the Rush Usopp, very interesting. I choose to outcounter with Borsalino, and then I choose to attack for 6 to 5. And because I drew into a Ryuma, I just choose to straight up KO the Usopp. So it worked out perfectly. He wasted a card swing, and I got a free KO off of it. I didn't even need to rest it. Right here, he returns my stuff with 3,000 worlds. He attacks me for 7. I just take it. I go into Branu with it. Right here, I draw into a Resonante. Again, nothing really to play out of my hand. Just a bunch of counter. Don't really need Hina right now because I have nothing to minus cost with. So there's not really a point. Right there, he triggers a 3,000 worlds, which is totally fine. Unfortunately, though, I play my second Branu, get no Navy. I get a Cypher Pull and 2 Thriller Barks, but that's fine. That's more stuff into the trash for when I do pull a Rob Lucci, which is ironic because I would have drawn into a Rob Lucci, but I trashed it. And then I just used my last Dawn to summon a Resonante and then swing for 6k. Right here, he plays the 1-drop Searcher Tashigi, which helps you look for Navy stuff, which is really cool. Navy finally has a Searcher. He's actually also running the 3-drop Garp, which helps you, I think, draw 2 trash too. Right here, he swings for 5. I block the Resonante. No point in me taking the damage when I have a blocker out. And then he plays into a Sogeking of all things to return his Tashigi, which is fine, right? Not really a threat to me right now. But I do have a Gecko Moria in hand. So what I do is I check my graveyard. Best thing I can do is grab a Borsalino and a Resonante. If I really wanted to, I could have grabbed Perona, right, to make him trash a card, but there's not really a point in that. What I could have done was I could have technically grabbed the Perona minus 3 to the Sogeking, rest it with Perona and attack for 6 at the Sogeking, but not really a point to, right? Not really a point. Once he's on board, he's pretty much just a vanilla body, so a pretty expensive vanilla body. Actually, I just realized 7 costs for 6k. He only really has an unplayability. Right here, he plays the 9-drop Sanji. Unfortunately, he didn't have a 9-drop. He had Gravity Blade. And he forfeits right here because there's not really... I don't really understand why he forfeit right there, but that was the game. Alright, so this is the last and final game. I'm going up against a Purple-Yellow Croc. Oh my goodness, I was studying on my words right there. Right here, I have nothing really to play, so I just attack for 8 to 5 right here. And he takes the life. Fortunately, though, it was a trigger for him, so he triggers it. It's a Sanji. Totally fine, totally fine. Something I can rest off of Perona, but I think he does swing with it, actually. So right here, I out-counter it with Borsalino, and then he actually swings with the Sanji right here. So that's fine. I take it. I draw into another blocker, which I can grab Borsalino off of, and then he plays Kikunojo. Kikunojo's a really good card for yellow, especially against 4-life leaders. And even though it helps him get a life, I do get rid of it later on. So what I do is right here, since his blocker is rest, I attack for 5. Hopefully get some cards out of his hand, but he just chooses to take it. Right here, he triggers into a Merry Christmas, which I use to rest, or I use leader ability to rest Kikunojo and kill Kikunojo with Drake, which helps him get a life back. But that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I don't care. He only has blockers on board, and he's gonna swing with them. That I remember. So like I don't have to rest any blockers or get rid of any, especially ones with high attack power. So it's his turn now. He's thinking, what do I do with purple and yellow? Oh man, what do I do? What do I do if I can't minus Donna's purple? Crazy, right? So he swings for 5 with Miss Merry Christmas, out counter with Borsalino. And then I think he swings again for 5k. I don't remember with which one, but I do out counter that one with, I think, Rebecca, if I'm not mistaken. He attacks for 6, I out counter with Virgo, perfectly fine. He attacks for 5. If I don't out counter Rebecca, I just straight up take it. Yeah, I just take it. I got a Perona out of it, so another 2k, not bad. And then he plays a Brûlée from hand of all things. So I just rest it, right? And then what I do is I check my life, or sorry, I check my trash. And then what I do is I play Rebecca, right? Just so I can get a blocker out and a body, even though Hina isn't really needed right here to minus cost. I just use it to get another body on board because there's no point in waiting anymore. He's not summoning anything out that I really need to minus. Luckily, though, I can say he does not summon a purple 8-drop Croc in this whole game, which is really good. So right there, I attack the Sanji for 7. I attack the Miss Merry Christmas for 7, just so he has less stuff on board. I'm not really worried about my life right now because I'm about to have some blocker. I'm about to have a blocker in hand and some more stuff in my hand to out counter with. So yeah, right there, he out counters for that. He saves it with a a Blast Breath. So right here, I play into Rebecca. I think I grab Virgo. If not Virgo, then Borsalino. But I think I grab Virgo for the out counter. Yeah, and then I choose to play Hina, just so I have a body on board. And if he swings at it, it's fine. That's one swing he didn't swing at my leader with. So it's totally fine, whatever. So right now I have like 8k in hand with counter, and then I have a Gecko Moria for next turn, which I think I do use to bring out the Borsalino, and just the Borsalino, because I think that's the only thing in my graveyard right now. So right now, if I'm at, what am I? I'm at 7. He's currently at 8. So he could have summoned out the Purple Croc if he really wanted to, if he had it. As far as I know, he didn't. So right now he puts 3 onto Crocodile. He swings 8 to 6. I choose to block it with Rebecca, right? And then he chooses to swing for 8 at Drake again with Miss Merry Christmas. I'll let that go. He has 1 up for Blast Breath. I already know it. So right here, I'm checking my graveyard. And what do? I think I actually play Gecko Moria to bring out Rebecca of all things, because I wanted to get another body on board, right? Yeah, I grab Rebecca so I could play Hina off of my hand. And that's it for Gecko Moria. So yeah, Rebecca, I grab Borsalino, play Hina, rest the Brûlée, attack the Brûlée with Hina. I thought I was gonna attack the Miss Merry Christmas, but I think I do with Perona right here for 6k. Right here, I think he does out counter it again with another Blast Breath, if I'm not mistaken. If not, then he just lets it go. If he does out counter it, then he has another swing. Who cares? But I'm pretty sure he does. Oh no, he lets it go. Okay, perfect, perfect. Nothing on board. He has no board state, which is perfect. But I do remember, I think this turn he does summon out a Kaido of all things, the 9-drop Kaido. So I think when he does that, he summons it out, KOs my Rebecca, and swings with Kaido. I out counter with Borsalino, and there it is. There's the Kaido. So me out countering Borsalino works out perfectly because, yeah. But right here, because I have nothing but 2Ks in hand, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I don't need these 2Ks. We're just gonna out counter to 11, which was just enough, and I have 1 Perona in hand. So yeah, right here I draw into another Borsalino. Really cool. I put just enough onto Gecko Moria to bring him up to 15k to make him use that Boro Breath in hand. And some other cards, because I think Boro Breath only does 4k. So right here he plays Blast Breath, 4k, and I think he 2ks it. Yep, there it is, right there. And then I swing for 5 at leader. I swing 5 each time because I'm using the 4 for Borsalino. Borsalino is such a good card because like he just can't be KO'd on your opponent's turns. Like if you want a certified blocker next turn, you just play Borsalino, and if you're black, and if you're not going against green, because green can just rest a 4-drop easily. So yeah, right here I have a certified blocker on board. He has nothing but Kaido and Croc in his hand. He only has 3 cards in hand, so pretty good on starving him out. And pretty much we just play the waiting game again. So I'm pretty sure he does actually spend some stuff to get stuff on board. I think he swings base with Kaido at my Gecko Moria. Pretty good play, right? He didn't really want to guarantee the Gecko Moria kill because I don't remember him placing any Dawn on it. But yeah, right here he swings 8 at one of my Hinas. I do remember that, and I was like, you know what, it's fine. I have 2 on board. I can just let the other one go. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And yep, he does swing base right here. But guess what? 2k Perona in hand. 2k Perona. Right here he plays Uta. But guess what? Perona can rest a 4 or less. So right there, Uta's rested. I play another Gecko Moria. What do? I grab a Borsalino just for another blocker, right? And I can't grab anything else. I have no 2-drops. But hey, another blocker is another blocker. So what I do is right here, since I have 2 big bodies on board, what I do is I actually just, I think I swing base with Hina. Or no, I swing base with leader. I just want to get rid of the Uta on board, right? And then I swing for base with leader, make him use some cards out of hand, and then I swing for a 9 at leader. But he plays a Brûlé blocker, but that's totally fine, right? Because I'm pretty sure he just takes it right here. Yep, he does. He didn't want to waste block, he wanted to save it. And fortunately, he's gotten nothing but blockers in his life. Like, he triggered nothing but blockers in his life. That's his second Sanji. His last card was another Sanji blocker, so not bad. He does swing with the Sanji. I do remember that, and I do take that life. He has nothing to KO it. He does have enough for another Kaido, but it doesn't matter because he can't KO my Borsalinos. So I still have 2 blockers, even if he wanted to bring out the Kaido. I would have had enough. I pretty much just would have taken... I would have taken my last 2 life, either from leader and Sanji, or both of his Kaidos. But he does swing with the Sanji, so I just take it. He takes a long time because I'm pretty sure he's thinking, he's like, what do I do? And if he did have a Kaido in hand, I don't remember if he did or not. But if he did have a Kaido in hand, it wouldn't have mattered because I have 2 blockers that can't be KO'd. So I just would have blocked both of his Kaido swings and taken my last 2 life, which works out perfectly. I take the life, right? Draw into Branu. And then I think he swings with Sanji again. I know he swings with Sanji. I'm not crazy. I remember him swinging with Sanji because I was like, oh man, crazy you did that because now if you just get your Brûlé rested and I swing with everything I have. So yeah, right here. He's really thinking right here. Pretty cool that he had to trash a Big Mom though, the Charlotte Linden, the 7-drop, just to get the Sanji out right here. So yeah, really cool for that. Because I already knew if he played it, I would have granted him a life because he has Kaido on board, and not to mention he's yellow. There's the 8-drop Croc. He got it at the very end. He got it at the very, very end. So yeah, right here, he swings with Kaido at my Gecko Moria, and I was like, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I just let it die because I have another Gecko Moria on board, so it's fine. So right here, I draw into a Lucci. I was like, all right, no point in me spending any Dawn to play anything. So I just rest his highest blocker, and then pretty much I just go all in with this one. I have 10 Dawn to work with. I have a leader swing, a Gecko Moria swing, a Hina swing, and potentially 2 blocker swings if I really needed to. So right here I swing for, I think, base with Hina, just so I could get him to either use a card out of hand or the Brûlé blocker, because with 8-drop Croc is you minus a Dawn and you get to draw 1, discard 1. But he didn't out counter, so he takes a life, which was another Big Mom, and I win because of that because I have 4 other swings. So yeah, green black Perona can really do really well things if you can get all the stuff you need. I can say that much for sure. But yeah, but just because you have like the 4-drop Borsalinos that can't be KO'd, you always have a certified blocker, especially since it's a 6k on your opponent's turn. You have Gecko Moria to help you bring stuff back out. Rob Lucci in this build lets you put stuff back in your deck. So it's a lot of filtering and a lot of keeping track with this deck. So yeah, that's going to be it for green-black Perona. If you can find other ways to build around this and make it even better, by all means, work around this. I just know that I really like the Navy build for it. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video, and thanks for watching.